Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, let's get into this. Um, okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your help in co-creating these messages. I really do love bringing them forward. So thank you, thank you. And also, oh, I just bent this card. Thank you for your support on the channel. The likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations all really do help out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, and if you are interested in a personal reading for me, the information for that is in the description box below. Let's get into it. Okay, so when I was shuffling, a weird thing happened with the cards. So, these two, okay, three, these three, journey, those, no, okay, door to romance. Okay. So what's coming out? We've got door to spirit here. So this is about connecting with source, connecting with the divine, God, whatever you work with, the universe. It's really connecting with that higher power. And I feel like you are. And because you are connecting with source energy in a more intentional way, I'm hearing like you took the invitation. So I'm getting spiritual awakening. So because of the spiritual awakening, by continuing to connect to source or your higher self, again, whatever, however you view it and work with it, what that's doing is it's actually putting you in the perfect energy to manifest. And so this is like an 1111 card. So this is manifesting and I take it as like dream reality. And the reason I bring up dream reality all the time is because when you are connecting with yourself in that way, your higher self, spirit, etc., and you're listening to the guidance and you're allowing your dreams to come back online and you're allowing some of those dreams to evolve to meet the current version of you, and then you're also evolving the version of you to match those dreams that you have, and understanding that you have those dreams for a reason, and it is your soul that is pushing you to experience certain things, and that's why you have certain dreams that you do. It's inevitable at some point that you will end up in that reality by continuing to walk the path. Part of what you could be manifesting is I'm hearing like a high level romantic connection. So this is something that you are manifesting right now. But we've got hostilities. And then we do have magician in the mirror on the bottom of the deck. So this could be you could be manifesting a counterpart, or it's like I've heard it put like kingdom spouse or something like that. This is like your perfect person, basically. The person that like perfectly matches you, balances you out. Everybody has a person that is perfect for them. It's not saying they're a perfect person, it's saying they're perfect for you. So I feel like that is something you're manifesting, but there's hostilities here, and this could be counterpart energy with the magician in the mirror on the bottom of the deck. Absolutely. That's, literally like the highest level of a connection. But there's hostilities here. So this could be mental hostilities. So you could be really dealing with a lot of the doubt, the fear. It's kind of rooted in worthiness. You know, yeah, so this could be mental hostilities that are coming through that are blocking this. This could also be external stuff going on, external people that are kind of naysaying. And, oh, that's just stuff you see in movies, that's not real, so on and so forth. It could be that kind of stuff going on. Um, let's see. What else? It's like you're manifesting it anyways. So good job. Good job. Okay. Fifth chakra. That's the throat. So there is something, the throat chakra sits at the throat. The color is blue. It governs our communication. It also governs like written forms of communication as well. That actually flows through our throat chakra, even though we're like using our hands. It's just communication energy that flows through the throat. Um, it is also connected to the solar plexus. So, in order to speak your truth, you have to know what your truth is, and you have to be in the confidence to speak your truth. And so, There definitely could be balancing going on. I'm feeling like an unblocking of the throat chakra happening right now. So you could be getting ready to communicate about this situation. If it's counterpart energy, that's been coming up a lot, is like communicating with your counterpart. Okay, man holding a coin and all tight. What I'm getting here, this is a masculine energy who's focused on their finances right now, their physical world. And there's something about it that is making this masculine feel like all tied up when it comes to finances. So if you are struggling in your physical experience, like finances, things like that, understand that by continuing to stay in alignment and shift into alignment and release what you're being called to release and do what you're being called to do, and that could have something to do with communicating here. This is also like making music, like singing or rapping, whatever. It's also throat chakra energy. So music just came up. Um, it could have something to do. You could have like one of your soul, like one of your um outlets. Yeah, that's a way to put it. One of your outlets for your soul purpose could actually be meant to come through your throat chakra. So this could be, speaking your truth to the collective in some way, having a platform, something like that. This could be writing a book, this could be making music, this could be performing, this can be motivational speaking. I mean, it can show up in so many different ways, but that definitely could be a key part of your soul purpose as well. And once you're tapped into soul purpose, and I feel like this collective does have that inner call, that soul fire almost is what it feels like. It's just like this internal thing that never lets you rest because you're always being called into soul purpose, into mission, and to get into alignment. And so there could be stuff where you're being called this way to fully lock into your highest timeline basically. So, dream reality stuff, which is where you are with, I'm hearing like with your kingdom spouse or with your counterpart, having a beautiful romantic relationship, and then you're tapped into soul purpose, and then finances are just flowing. It's abundant. That's the energy that's coming through for you that you are shifting into. So keep going. Yeah, keep going. Okay. Okay, we've got woman holding a coin. So this is a feminine energy focused on finances. This can show up as a karmic energy when we're talking about different like energies around you. So this could be somebody who is very externally focused, probably not actually walking the path. Yeah, yeah. The other thing coming through though is this could also indicate that this romantic situation that you are calling in with your person is going to uplevel your finances. So it can go either way. It could be kind of like it can be an either or an and, maybe there's a karmic feminine around you, or even a karmic masculine around you that's very externally focused. Um, but yeah, so this could be a situation where you're tied up with somebody in some way that is blocking your finances, and it's somebody who's very externally focused, external approval, how it looks to the outside world, so on and so forth. Um, and then it's also got that dual meaning here that's like once you allow yourself to align with that high level soulmate counterpart energy, it's going to have a positive effect on your finances as well as like a byproduct. And then we've got deceit that came out on the door to romance. So I'm getting this as like sometimes it can be denial, but I'm not getting a denial energy. I'm getting more of like it's too good to be true energy coming from this deceit card. So you could still be kind of thinking that it's too good to be true, but there's a part of you that knows. So, like, the mind is telling you it's too good to be true, but when you tap into your body, you know, you've got a deep knowing. I feel like you know who this person is, like, who this counterpart energy is. Um, for some of you, if you don't know who it is in the physical world, you can feel their energy, though. Like, this is somebody whose energy is in your energy, and you're in their energy as well. Um, so, and then we've got Angel of Balance. So you're really being called to focus on balancing right now. And this could be like balancing a situation with the person, or this could be like inner balance. Um, so it's really kind of a call to stay balanced. And then we've got Broken Heart, but it kind of like flipped out to the side over here. So this could be something. um, What is this? Okay, what is really coming through is when we have grief and pain in the heart space, when there's something that we're carrying around with us that we need to clear up in some way or speak about, it can actually block your finances. So this could be just kind of like a little side note, like, hey, there's more to the situation and it will have a positive effect on your finances by communicating. So of course, if this is like sole purpose and you're being called to step out and, speak your truth, that can have a positive effect on your finances. Um, but it's also like I'm getting for some of you, especially if it's the counterpart energy that's been coming through a lot lately. It could be speaking to to your counterpart, to your person. And I heard divine feminine. So if you're a masculine, if you're masculine on the counterpart journey, you're not in contact with your feminine. What this is saying is that by you communicating with your feminine, it's going to have a profound heart healing for you and your person, and it's actually going to unlock your finances pretty quick, your relationship with with money, basically. And then we've got attachment, and where it kind of landed was like on this woman holding a coin. So this could be a karmic energy, or even if it's the masculine energy, very externally focused, there could be a little bit of an attachment to this as well. There's also a little bit of like an ego attachment coming up, maybe like the need to control a situation and like need to know the outcome before acting, something like that. It's not saying that like this is a controlling energy, it's just the ego likes control, and it's because it's a false sense of safety. um and so it's understanding that, it's not, I'm not getting like a super controlling energy coming through. It's just more that like ego need to control that could be kind of coming up for you to look at right now so that you can release it, so you can fully let this mask down and fully tap into alignment. Yeah, and it's one of, yeah, carrying connections. Okay. It's one of these things too, if you're still seeking external approval, um really kind of look at that and understand like when you're walking this path of authenticity and the spiritually led path, there's a thing that happens where at first when you start to walk a different way, you start to move a different way, you start to live life more in alignment and you're more, in the spiritual stuff and things like this, people around you are going to oftentimes kind of negatively respond to that because you're changing rapidly, and certain things that you used to connect over, you don't connect over anymore. Certain wounds are being healed, so you're not interacting with certain people in the same way. And so just know that this is one of those things, like this is where shifting into internal validation and getting to the point where it's like, as long as I'm happy with the way that I'm living my life, that's the biggest thing. Because then from there, and it's not like a cocky thing, it's not an egotistical thing, it's literally an alignment thing. And when you're living in alignment, you show up different. Yeah, you're just different, because you're tapped into your authenticity. You're not as worried about what somebody's going to say with, you like using crystals or something, like, especially now, like there's science behind it and stuff. And so, it's more accepted too, which makes it nice, but there is still that like pushback that you're going to get from other people, and understand that if you continue to walk the path, some of those people who are kind of like rejecting you because you're starting to move a little bit differently, you're starting to change things like that, understand that that is something that kind of chills out the more you walk the path. Okay. So as I was talking about crystals and then going on this whole tangent, I realized I didn't put my rings on. And then I was thinking, this is a good example, actually. So my rings are very big. I know each of these crystals. I know what they do. I charge them and cleanse them and all the things. Um, and it's funny because when I first started wearing rings like this on every single finger and they're big, especially like family members and stuff, they're like, "Oh my gosh." And then I started doing like my crazy long nails. They're like, "That's obnoxious." And I'm like, "I know, but I love it." And then now everybody around me is used to it. And then now when I like go places, I get compliments on them all the time. Like, "Oh my gosh, I love your nails." And then I'm like, like, yeah, they're just glue-ons. I design them and glue them on, and then I'll have them pop off and keep natural nails for a little bit. And then, it's just doing things differently. So, like, I don't go get my nails done, but I, like, design them and do them myself and then just glue them on, and they last for, like, a week, and then if they pop off, it's no big deal. And then, like, my rings, I wear them all the time, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, those are so big, but they're so pretty." And so it's just one of those things that, like, at first, there was a pushback on it, I did not get positive reinforcement for it, but I just kept doing it. And now I get that positive reinforcement. And so that's kind of an example. And like it's minor, because it's like nails and rings, like it's not really that big of a deal. But this happens on so many levels when you're walking this path. And so that's where it's just like if it makes you feel good, you're in alignment, that's what matters. So especially when you're talking like a counterpart situation, it's going to trigger a bunch of people, but it's gonna phase out. Like, once people get used to it and then they're like, "Oh, okay, this is actually like, like, this is a decent person and you guys have a good relationship," or whatever, it'll chill out. And then those people who just aren't gonna let it go, they're gonna kind of phase out a little bit. Maybe you don't interact with them as much. And it's one of those, like, that's kind of how the alignment sifting and sorting process happens on this journey. And, spirit will remove certain situations from your life that are no longer in alignment. And then you'll be called to do certain things to continue to get into alignment as well. And it's something that changes as we grow and tap into different gifts and abilities and unlock different things with soul purpose. Especially we're talking counterparts. There's parts of the soul mission that will only be unlocked when you're in a physical union, even if it's not romantic. But that's how it works when you're talking actual counterpart soul mission, like shared mission stuff. So just keep that in mind. The more you do it, the less it affects you. You're just kinda like, "Yeah, whatever, I'm doing me," and I'm not messing with anybody. I'm listening to myself and my higher self and the divine. And I feel like you're in that, but I feel like there's still a part of you that wants to have that external approval. And it's one of those, once you shift and you get internal approval, then all of a sudden it kind of flips and then you'll start getting external approval from people who can perceive you in your new energy. But at first, this can take a while. Like for me, it took a long time, but, it's one of those, just keep being true to you. Keep pulling down this mask. Keep tapping into your authenticity. Keep tapping into your higher self, the divine, whatever it is. And you're going to be led literally to the life of your dreams. That's where that path leads. That's where the path of alignment leads. And so the more you listen, when that guidance comes up, the quicker it's going to happen. Okay. All right. We've got action and caring connections. And so what I'm getting is there is a situation when it comes to romance, this is romantic connection. Once no, that wasn't it. Um um sorry, got like totally sidetracked myself. Okay. What's coming through with this is the masculine energy in this situation is being called to take action towards this romantic connection. Carrying connections in this card, this is most of the time talking about a romantic connection with the door to romance here. It's for sure a romantic connection. It's not always, it can be like a soulmate connection that is platonic, but this is definitely a romantic energy. And so the masculine in this energy is really being guided to communicate with the throat chakra here, and that was confirmation. Um, you take action and speak your truth to this person. And this message has been coming through loud and clear for quite a while. So just if you're the masculine, you already know, like you already know what you're being asked to do. It's time. It's time for action. It's time. If you're the feminine in the situation, just keep doing what you're doing and keep allowing, keep that open energy when it comes to this person. I feel like you know who this person is. So just keep doing you, keep staying open. You're in the perfect energy. You both are to come together and actually take this to the next level. It's just, I feel like the masculine in this is still really kind of processing some things that they're attached to. Um, and it definitely could have to do with finances with the coins out here. I do feel like there is a little bit of that external approval coming through as well. Adjacent possibilities, this is letting you know, I don't know. It literally just left. What is the adjacent possibilities about? Um, okay, what I'm actually hearing is the masculine's getting ready to walk through this door towards this person because of where I laid it down, and then it like sometimes the message just gets cut off and then it'll take a minute. And so that kind of just happened. And so it's one of those, because I laid it down on the throat chakra, on the carrying connections card, and right next to this attachment card, I feel like what's happening is the masculine in this energy is fully releasing something that is still tied to the ego identity and really shifting into full alignment. And with that, this is this is the doorway that's open for the masculine to walk through, and it's towards this person, which is also a part of your highest timeline, dream timeline. There's also, yeah, we've got a man holding a heart here, so this is a masculine energy, very much aware of who it is that's actually in their heart. Um and I do feel like it's this like counterpart kingdom spouse energy. You know who this person is. And there's something here with community. So this could be, I'm getting that, yeah, it really feels like you're in the energy. The masculine is in this energy where you're shifting from certain people that weren't really supporting you in a way that is inspiring you to align with your highest timeline. And by walking towards this feminine energy, this counterpart energy, it's going to also have this effect where it uplevels your community. It might not be right away, but it is going to be another natural byproduct of this. And it has to do with alignment, and it has to do with following the signs and the synchronicities and acting on those intuitive nudges. Yeah, we've got patience here. This is divine timing. Um, and what I'm hearing is the masculine is being, you're really in the pressure cooker masculine, and you're being hit with this like there's urgency that comes from the mind, that comes from the ego, and it's based in fear. Then there's an urgency that comes from the soul, and you can more feel it in your body. And it's one of those like, I know this is what I'm being called to do. It's almost feeling in my body like that soul mission call. And it could be because this feminine is actually part of your soul mission. So that could be part of why it's coming up like that. Um, yeah, it's like a soul urgency that's coming through. Okay. What else is going on here? Spit up. So it's like a matter of time. It really is. And door to value. So it's also understanding that, yeah, this is it's confirmation. When you walk through this doorway that is headed towards your counterpart, it's in alignment with the door to spirit. So it's going to help you to continue to connect with your higher self, with the divine. It's also going to have an up leveling effect on your finances. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just it's gonna be a byproduct of this, is what I'm really getting. Okay. I split the deck to yin and unfinished symphony. And so what I'm getting from that is there is a divine feminine energy here that the masculine has unfinished business with. And it's mirrored. So there's unfinished business on both sides. It's just this is the situation where the masculine, the masculine energy is the action energy. It's the initiator energy. So what this situation is doing is it's literally calling the masculine to rise into their divine masculine energy, which is, taking action, initiating. Especially in the physical realm. And then this is pushing the divine feminine to be in their receptive energy and allow the masculine to come in. And so, yeah, I'm feeling like this is definitely the energy where both of you are naturally pulling into the polarity that you chose to come in and experience. And so, I do feel like this feminine, is really like they're kind of an initiator. When they're in their masculine energy, they get shit done. But the thing is part of the challenge when we're talking counterpart energy is for the feminine to be able to allow themselves to receive, and then it pushes the divine masculine into the energy to actually take that forward action and actually be vulnerable. And that's the biggest, I don't wanna say the biggest, but that is one of the bigger hurdles when it's coming into this situation is the masculine being in a vulnerable space, not fully knowing the outcome and taking action anyways. And so, that's part of where the dynamic, like, kind of why these situations show up in the way that they do. We've got to the sea, so that's about being in the flow state. Um, yeah, it's allowing that, and again, it's a balance, right? So we bounce back and forth between feminine and masculine energies all the time. And then it's just what you primarily dominantly sit in is like then you would be the masculine or the feminine. The thing is when you're talking flow state, this is more of a divine feminine energy where you're shifting into the flow. You're listening to your higher self, you're listening to spirit, you're following the guidance, you are allowing yourself to take that divinely inspired action from the place of flow and alignment. So what I'm hearing is there's a masculine that's struggling to get into this flow state when it comes to this situation. And it does have to do with maybe this too good to be true feeling. Um, yeah, 'cause we've got all that glitters, which is like temptation. It's too good to be true kind of energy. But it's one of those, like, if you tap in, you feel it in your body, like, you have a deep knowing in your body that this is meant for you, that this person will receive you. But it's the ego, it's the mind that's taking over and giving you all the noise that's saying not to do this. But when you tap into your body, you have a deep knowing. You have a deep knowing that this is your person. I'm hearing this is the person you could never shake, and there's a reason for that. And it's getting louder and louder and louder because you're being called to go towards this person. So if it's literally louder than ever before when it comes to the signs, the synchronicities, the dreams, seeing them everywhere, hearing songs that remind you of them, if you're literally thinking about them most of the time when you're awake and you're going to sleep and you're dreaming about them, it's for a reason. It's because that is what you're being called to do. So that's part of why it's so loud. And the thing is by you tapping into this flow state, what you're going to find is you're going to you're going to find yourself around people who actually can understand you, who can see you, who can support you and celebrate you in your authenticity. Um, yeah, and so I'm feeling like this is, this is a mirrored thing that I'm getting. So I feel like this masculine and this feminine have actually experienced life where you just low key feel misunderstood. You low key don't ever feel fully seen by another person. It's one of those things like the energy coming through is it's this energy of, you're an ocean and people like come play in the shallow end and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so deep." And you're like, "Bro, you are like on the shore still." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, but this is like you're so deep, you have such depth." And you're like, "Dude, this is surface level shit." Um, and then once you invite them a little bit deeper, they're like, "Oh, too deep, too deep." And you're like, "Oh, fuck, dude, you're not even treading water yet. Like, I'm a whole ass ocean." It's that kind of energy. Hopefully that makes sense. But I do feel like this counterpart situation is a situation where you and this person, like your levels of depth match. Um, and and it's just an intuitive knowing thing. I don't know if you and this person have ever fully like gone there fully, but it's one of those, this person could go there with you. This person can see you fully, can understand you fully when you're in your authenticity. And then the other thing too is once you allow yourself to do this and really shift into full alignment, and follow that guidance and allow yourself to take this risk, then what's going to happen is you're also going to find other people that are platonic, that are like friends, business associates, things like that. They can also see you and perceive you and understand you on deeper levels than you have been seen or understood up until this point. Message in a bottle and co-create. So, one with this message in a bottle, I'm getting a lot of telepathic communication. Um, I feel like it's gonna be really exciting when you talk to this person and like find out like what all has been transmitted. Um, I know for me, I'm that's something I'm waiting for. Like, what all have I transmitted and didn't realize? And then what all have I been receiving and not realizing that it's actually coming from the human self? Like it's gonna be, that's kind of one of the fun things. Um, But it's yeah, so there's definitely telepathic communication. Um, and you're being called to co-create with this person. You and this person have a very deep, deep bond. You also have a shared soul mission. And so, yes, this is going to be like I'm getting like fairy tale romance, like legitimately, but it's also so much more than that. This is life partner energy. This is somebody that you are it's like I'm hearing 2 worlds colliding. It's like you and this person are gonna come together and just, like, manifest and live just such a beautiful life. It's yeah, and there's, like, this level of safety, and it's mutual safety. So, this is a situation where the masculine provides a sense of safety to this feminine, and then the feminine provides a sense of safety to this masculine, and it's gonna be a little bit different, but it's still this level of, like, you can let your guard down completely in front of this person. You're not constantly, like, scanning and, like, reading the mood and all of that. It's one of those, like, you can just let your guard down and just be, and you don't have to worry about this person taking advantage of that and, um, you know kicking you while you're down kinda shit. And it's a mutual thing, and it's beautiful, and then it's one of those, like, sole purpose. In this energy, I keep getting, like, the 10 of Pentacles, which is building an empire together. So it's like you 2 coming together and you have this beautiful romantic union. Maybe you expand your family or have a family or combine families, whatever, And it's, it's harmonious in that way. And then you also come together and you are able to have a shared vision and work on that vision together. And then it's like you're perfectly balanced to actually execute that and manifest it and bring it into the physical reality. So it's one of those, like, I'm getting the masculine in this energy is a very powerful manifester, and so is the feminine. But there's certain difficulties and challenges that I feel like are gonna disappear when this connection actually anchors in, and it's just gonna be like blocks and obstacles are literally removed by the divine, and it's just like a shortcut to, building an empire. Um, so yeah, again, this is one of those situations where it's so much more than just the romantic energy. It's like life partner energy, which is beautiful. It really, really is. All right. Let's see what else wants to come out. What else does the collective need to know about this situation, Spirit? Angel of Strength. So there is a lot of quantum jump. Remember that quantum jump with the anxiety card. Okay. Um you are being given a lot of extra assistance by like guides, angels, whatever it is that you perceive and work with. There's a lot of extra assistance in the spiritual realm that is pushing and guiding this situation. Um and I'm getting like such an excitement energy around this. It's like it's so close. It's gonna happen. Like it's that kind of energy. So just know that, your spirit team, whatever you work with, is really guiding this right now, is really pushing for this. And it's so beautiful. It really is. Financial constraints. So this could definitely be a factor when it comes to going towards this person for the masculine, but again, don't let that stop you, because this is a situation where you're meant to build together. And I feel like it's one of those, if you're in a financially a more challenging spot, or I'm not really getting, like, maybe for some of you, maybe it's, financially challenging right now. Um but it's one of those, I'm getting this energy of, like, the masculine doesn't feel like they have enough to offer when it comes to finances, but understand this is a connection where you're meant to come together and build that together. So, just keep that in mind. I don't feel like this is gonna be a deal breaker in any way. I actually, well, I was gonna say, I don't feel like the financial situation is, like, super unevenly yoked. In the energy, you and your person have like very abundant energy. It's just whether it's actually manifesting in the physical or not is going to vary. But it is an energy where if it's not actually manifesting in the physical for you right now, it could be because you're meant to communicate with this person and have this heart healing that is going to take place. And then that is going to be what actually opens you up to expand your finances as well. Our relationship with receiving love is very much tied to our relationship with receiving finances. It's a similar kind of frequency. um, so just keep that in mind. And then we've got anxiety. And this can be there's so I feel like for this collective, you've been going through a quantum jump, whether you realize it or not. You're going through an identity breakdown. You're literally becoming a different version of yourself. When this happens, it provokes a lot of anxiety because your ego mind or the old identity is trying to hold on. And it just creates dissonance in the energy because there's this new version of you coming online, but then there's this old version that's scared of letting go. And then there's also the energy of, like, you feel very different internally, but externally your world might still look the same. And so it's just this weird, it's a weird thing to kind of go through. And a lot of us on this journey have been going through a massive quantum jump over the past year and a half. Random cough. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That could be part of where this anxiety is coming from. And so it's one of those, like, if you kind of start to perceive it that way and just be like, okay, this anxiety is coming from my old identity that's trying to hold on, but that's no longer a version of myself that I resonate with. it can kind of help release some of it. And sometimes it doesn't, and it's just there, and that's where just like meditation, breath work, walking, things like that, putting your feet in the earth on the earth. Um, put your bare feet on the grass or in the dirt or whatever, do some grounding. That can really help to pull out of your head and kind of release some of that anxiety. Another message coming through for this masculine is this anxiety is going to continue to be here because you're being pushed to do something that is really shoving you outside of your comfort zone. And I do feel like it is being open, honest, authentic, and vulnerable to this person. And it's one of these things, like, this is the person you really, really want to be with. Like, this is literally your dream person. And so it's causing a lot of anxiety because this is your ideal person. And the thing is, and I've said it in these readings before, like, what you have potentially with this person is absolutely magnificent. It's beautiful. It's one of those things, though, that you're not going to fully know that until you actually communicate with this person. Okay, so I actually just got a phone call that I had to take, so I had to pause it and take this phone call really quick. And normally, I don't have to pause it to take phone calls, in the middle of readings. I think that might have happened once or twice over the course of like a year and a half or so, I think. I don't know how long I've been doing this channel. It's been a while, but it's only literally happened like less than 5 times in over a year and a half, and including even personal readings. So I'm doing personal readings. It doesn't happen often. So what's interesting is the card that we just got was the anxiety card, and then I had to pause it to take that call, and then when I went to resume the reading, what I heard was a phone call is going to relieve a bunch of this anxiety. So just a little extra confirmation there from spirit. Anyhow, let's see if anything else wants to um I amuse myself with random shit. Anyways, the Yang card just came out, and this is Divine Masculine, and it's on the anxiety card. And so, yeah, this is, I feel like there's anxiety on both ends. I feel like your feminine, is experiencing some anxiety as well. And it's one of these things, like the Divine Masculine taking this inspired action towards this Divine Feminine is going to relieve anxiety on both ends. And I'm getting that sigh of relief coming through. Okay, we've got to be fair in chaos and conflict. Um, I'm actually being called to read to be fair card. It's kind of like balancing a situation. 38. Yeah, balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. Um, Yeah, so it's balancing between doing and being, which is when I was talking earlier, that balance of divine feminine and divine masculine energy. That's literally the balance. Divine masculine energy is doing, it's action oriented. Divine feminine energy is being, allowing, receptive energy. And again, it's one of those, like, in a situation like this, it's not that the masculine's going to be the one that gives and the feminine never gives. It's just, that's the dominant polarity that you sit in. So the masculine's going to be more action oriented, more initiator, that kind of thing. But it's not that the feminine doesn't have that ability. It's just that in the relationship, that's going to be the dominant energy that the masculine is in, and it's going to feel natural. And same thing for the divine feminine. It's going to feel natural. There's going to be a sense of relief. And especially because the thing is there is an energetic exchange when the masculine gives to the feminine will receive it. And just being received can actually really boost the energy in the divine masculine. And this happens just for humans in general. Um, but it's such a balanced dynamic. And then, it's one of these, like, it's a very harmonious, equally balanced connection. Um and, of course, like, life is gonna happen, life is gonna life. There's gonna be times when the feminine has to take over some things for a little bit, and then the masculine, like, if the masculine's sick or going through something, going through an ascension, whatever it may be, the feminine's gonna have to step up and handle business, and this feminine can absolutely do that. But it's not gonna be an overload on the feminine, and I feel like the feminine in this energy has been in that energy of overload for a long time, and then the masculine's been, doing their thing, and not really. It's just, I feel like there's a dynamic here where neither of you have fully experienced this evenly yoked relationship. And that's where it's like, it's one of those, when you're in a very balanced, harmonious relationship with another person and you're building life together, that just unlocks different opportunities, resources, like, all sorts of things. And so it's yeah, it's one of these, like, the masculine's being called to, connect with this feminine so that you can both experience this balanced energy, so that you don't feel alone anymore. Um, so you can feel seen and understood and celebrated for who you are, not what you do. And that's a huge part of this as well. This feminine has the ability to celebrate the masculine for who they are, how far they've come on the journey, and then vice versa. Like, there's just this, it's a beautiful, beautiful energy. And we've got chaos and conflict here, and I do feel like there's been a lot of chaos and conflict in just life in general. um, and this is something that's going to, it's not saying there's not going to be chaos or conflict. It's just, one, you're not going to experience it as intensely. And the other thing too is it's going to just feel different. Like, think about how it would feel to go through the exact same thing that you're going through with your person. It has a different feeling. It doesn't feel so heavy when you're, doing it with another person versus doing it all alone. Um, Yeah, and being able to have that shared vision and work together on, soul mission and shared visions, and it's so much more powerful than one person doing it alone. It really, really is. You've got two conscience creators creating the same thing. It's gonna just happen. Okay, we've got serendipity, which is talking about, is this talking about how they met the person? Yeah, so this is just confirmation that how you met this person, how you met your ideal person was very serendipitous. It's literally, if you think back on it, like, all of a sudden this person was, I'm holding up the wrong card. All of a sudden this person was just there, and it was a life-changing experience with this person. However you experienced your counterpart in the past, it was very life-changing. I feel like neither of you have been the same since then, and that is normal. The other thing too is, when you're tapped into alignment, and I do feel like for this energy, you and this person coming together and working together in some way is going to line you up for more serendipitous experiences, where it's just like you're both in the right place at the right time, and you meet this awesome person, and now you're, bouncing business ideas back and forth, or whatever. It's just like you're going to experience more of this serendipity in life in general, which is where you can tell that the universe literally is helping to orchestrate this. Um and and so, yeah, it's going from survival to thrival mode. Like, it's a massive shift that's happening, which is partly why the quantum shift thing came up too. Is this is literally what a quantum shift is. um Time for a nap. Being told to read it. Just on the divine masculine energy. Yeah, yeah, okay. Rest, rejuvenation, renewal, temporary non-action, allowing dreams to rise. um so yeah, it's being in a state of non-action. And Okay. Okay, so there it is. It's talking about an overly busy mind that can block you from your inner wisdom. Take a step back, take a seat, and allow yourself to rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent of any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement. So I feel like hmm, there's kind of two things coming through. One, this could be a sign for you to take a step back and allow yourself to rest more and allow those ideas to flow. There's also the element of a masculine being really up in their head, staying very busy, and not allowing some of this to come through. So, yeah, the recommendation is gonna be different for both of those. So, use your discernment. If you've been allowing yourself to rest and take that time, and then you're getting the signs and the synchronicities to reach out to your person, you know, it's time for action. If you've been overly busying yourself and staying stuck up in your mind and not allowing yourself to listen to that intuitive guidance, take a step back, release that overly busy mind energy, do something to focus on one thing in front of you and just kind of let your mind just wander, don't attach to all the thoughts, and then pull into your body and then see how your body's feeling. What is your body guiding you to do? Your intuition can come through your body a lot. So if you're sitting there and you're just kind of like, okay, what am I being guided to do? And then you start getting this like solar plexus tug, and then you think about your person and you think about reaching out, that's your intuition telling you it's time to reach out. So, yeah, yeah. So take that as it resonates. Again, I do feel like in this energy, the masculine's definitely being called to actually make contact at this point. Fork in the road. This has come up quite a bit. So, interestingly enough, I feel like the masculine and the feminine in this situation are actually both at a fork in the road. And it's because it's basically like waiting for this masculine to decide if they're going to do it or not. And yeah, I feel like the masculine's really being pushed to reach out at this time because again, it's one of those like you don't have to, but literally the life of your dreams is on the other side of reaching out. So, for what that's worth. Um, yeah. And again, I do feel like this fork in the road is literally it's like the path of alignment and the path of not alignment. And so it's one of those like allow yourself to walk the path. It's a little, it's scary at first, it really is, but it's so worth it. It really, really is. And you'll see when you allow yourself to follow the guidance and walk this path intuitively led, you'll kind of like hindsight 2020 some stuff and look back and be like, holy shit, this led to this, which led to this, which led to this, and then it actually led to this. And so just understand that as well. Sometimes it's not always clear why you're being asked to move a certain way, and then that clarity will come later. Whew. Talking about the solar plexus tug. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, you could be having solar plexus symptoms going on. It can be like nausea, just unsettled stomach, that kind of thing. If you're worried about your physical health in any way, check with a medical health professional. I'm not offering medical advice. We're just talking about things from a spiritual standpoint. So you could be going through a solar plexus kind of clearing right now, which would make sense if you're releasing worthiness wounds. The other thing too is if you're getting that call to reach out and then the feminine's feeling that energy as well, it can show up in the solar plexus. So just a little side note. That one. Okay. All right, we're gonna get into the tarot really quick, and then I'm gonna close it out. 10 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I'm just saying. I was getting that energy earlier. Like you're coming together to build an empire. This is multi-generational wealth. This is leaving a legacy. And it has to do with you speaking your truth with the Ace of Swords. Yeah, yeah. So it's literally, yeah, like it's time. Righty dokie. What is going on for the collective? What? Does the collective need to know? I have been speaking as though I'm speaking to a divine masculine in a lot of this energy. So if you're the feminine, just flip it how it fits. But yeah, I sometimes the messages just flow out that way and I'm speaking to a divine masculine. So again, use your discernment, use your intuition above all else in every reading all the time. And just in life in general. Judgment. Four of Pentacles. Okay, so interestingly enough, there's a couple different messages coming through. Four of Pentacles can be keeping something close to the chest. It can also talk about saving money. Um, so you or the feminine, whichever, you could be focused on like saving money right now. That could be just a little side message. This is also talking about holding something close to the chest and not really talking to a whole lot of people about it or kind of keeping it close to your chest like in the baby stage, like in the embryonic stage. So if you are getting like aha ideas when it comes to soul mission and things like that, be mindful of who you share that with. You might be being guided to just let that kind of sit. Make sure that you are sharing that with somebody who is in the vibration that is actually going to be able to receive that and not like take the wind out of the sails when it comes to that. So just be mindful of that. And that also goes for this relationship as well. So like when you first reach out to this person, you might be guided not to tell anybody about it at first and just kind of keep it to yourself. Let it kind of take off a little bit, let you and your person come together and communicate a little bit and see, are we on the same page? Do we want the same thing? What are we being guided to do from here? Okay, now we can start bringing in other people and making them aware of the situation. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, because it's an energy thing. Judgment. This is talking about spiritual awakenings. There definitely could be a situation that happens when you do reach out to this person where it actually elevates you in a way that actually cues you into what like soul purpose stuff is. Because I'm feeling so oftentimes our soul purpose or our soul mission will present in our career, and our career is oftentimes where we get our finances, like building a legacy. Oftentimes that's in a career way. It doesn't have to be, but this is a part that is coming through. So there could be a situation where you reaching out to this person is actually going to help unlock certain things when it comes to the awareness of what your soul mission is. So if you've been like, well, I really want to tap into soul mission first, it might be one of those things that actually unlocks when you reach out to this person. I do feel like you and this person at this point are being called to come together and work on soul mission in some way. Okay. So that's having a lot of options. Okay, what I'm actually getting, interesting. Okay. So what I'm getting, this Queen of Cups I'm getting is the feminine energy in this dynamic with this counterpart situation. So this is a very nurturing, open, emotionally mature, receptive energy. It's literally like the mother of the zodiac, um, type of energy, or I guess mother of the tarot, rather. Um, it's that energy. The Empress is as well, but the Queen of Cups is very open, nurturing, very tapped into their emotions, has emotional intelligence, is an emotionally safe place. That's Queen of Cups energy. With these two cards, what I'm actually getting is the masculine might be worried that the feminine in this situation has a lot of options, but what you're not seeing is that's actually an illusion, because this is a situation where I feel like this feminine literally only wants one person, and that person is you. But again, you're going to have to communicate with this person in order to actually get that confirmation from them. Um, yeah, yeah. Four of Swords. This is another rest and rejuvenation card. So you could be in a period of rest and rejuvenation right now. Your feminine could be there could also be an element of like actually being able to rest once you talk to this person, once you communicate with them and get on the same page for sure in the physical realm, then it's like you can just take that breath of like relief and just like, oh, okay, cool. Now let's move forward. um and so, yeah, it's like that pressure cooker energy. It's like that releasing the steam is like, oh, it's just such a relief energy. Oh my goodness. It feels so good. That relief energy feels really, really good. Two of Pentacles is having a lot going on. It can be a little bit of an overwhelm energy. What I'm really getting from this though is you and this person in communication with each other are going to be able to energetically help assist each other to the point where whatever's going on in life, you're going to be able to handle it from a different place. You're going to have that internal fire to do things, to handle things, to get things done, to do this, to do that, to get on board with this. And it's just like this spark for life comes back online. Yeah, with the lovers here. Oh my gosh, lovers and temperance. Temperance is talking about balanced energy, and then lovers is literally like high level soulmate counterpart energy. And so it's one of these things like you and this person are very balanced. You both have the ability to balance each other in a very, very strong way. It's yeah, and I'm hearing you're gonna be able to breathe again. Like truly just like well, just, like, breathe. It's like the weight just lifts. Mm, so good. The Hanged Man. There's also something here where okay, with the 5 of Swords and the Hanged Man, what I'm getting is there could be an element of self-sabotage going on here. Um, and it's like you're not fully seeing things clearly. It's like you're not fully seeing the perspective clearly when it comes to this situation. And that's something that as is going to shift after this communication. You're both going to be seeing things from a different perspective once this communication happens. The Hierophant. No, okay. This can be talking about a couple things. One, this can be talking about legal stuff. So this could be talking about like getting married to this person, if that's something you're desiring. This can also talk about just ascension. And so maybe this person is actually the person that helps you connect with source in a deeper way. And then ironically, you're going to have that same effect on this person as well. Just because of this balanced energy that comes through, you'll both be able to connect with spirit in a very, very deep, deep way and really get that communication and those intuitive hits and everything else. And then we've got 8 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so if you've been really worried about your money, understand, or like your finances, feeling left out in the cold, so on and so forth, understand that the universe is bringing in manifestations for you. It is requiring action though. It's like this next step is actually communicating with this person, and that is what's going to help unlock some of these other manifestations for you. And this has come up in the readings quite a bit lately. So if you've been trying to manifest all of these other things before you reach out, it's one of those things that you're calling in are coming in for you, but they're not going to fully physically manifest until you reach out. And there's a reason for it, but you're not going to be privy to the reason for it until you reach out. You're going to get the clarity after. And that's how some of this works sometimes. Sometimes we're guided to move and we don't understand why from a human perspective. We're like, that doesn't make sense. That seems illogical. But the thing is it's one of those like, this is a key thing that's happening in your energy system for you to fully shift into alignment and throw yourself out there more or less and face potential rejection from this person. But again, I'm not getting that that's what you're going to receive from this person in this energy. I'm not feeling that at all. I'm feeling like this person, like you might think that this person has a lot of options. And the funny thing is that I'm hearing it's only you. It's only ever been you. And then I'm hearing like you've been you've been locked in my heart for a long time. So this is, and I just got full body chills. So yeah, this is a person that like literally desires you. So just remember that. And it's going to make you feel like you're not left out in the cold anymore. Maybe you're feeling like you're left out in the cold when it comes to your feminine's life, and all it requires is for you to reach out and start communicating with them, and then it's going to be a totally different situation. Your feminine's on board. Like if you're here and you're resonating in this energy, your feminine is 100% on board. And intuitively, with the high priestess on the bottom of the deck, you know that that is the case, but you're just kind of still worried about it, self sabotaging. What if they're not? What if this happens? What if that happens? Well, what if you go towards this person and they are on board? Then what? Hey, flip that perspective. Hanged man, flip the perspective. Oh my gosh. The scales are balancing out, and what and the result of that is the 10 of cups. This is literally happily ever after. This is complete, pure emotional fulfillment with another person in a romantic sense. So with 10 of Pentacles out here and 10 of Cups, again, this comes out in this energy all the time. This is literally having it all. This is literally you shifting into a reality where you get to have it all. And all you're being asked to do is to just reach out and communicate. And then from there, you're going to get the signs and synchronicities on like how to move forward from there to fully lock this energy in. But it's already in your field. This is what you're manifesting. So, like with love, get out of your own way and allow yourself to have it. Like, oh mole. Okay, what I'm getting from this energy is I feel like, and maybe this is mirrored, but what's coming through is the feminine in this dynamic is in hermit mode, and they're waiting for you to come in. They're waiting for you to close the gap. They're waiting for you to close this distance. And so they're being, just hanging out in hermit mode. Doing their thing, and then also simultaneously staying open and receptive for you when you do make your way towards them. So, yeah, this is the universe literally has you both perfectly poised to to walk this path together. Um and again, this could be mirrored. So maybe the masculine's also in this hermit energy and is, kind of waiting at this time. And it's one of those things like this is one of those situations where masculine, when we're using a surfing analogy, because there's a surfer on this card, when we're using the surfer analogy, it's like your feminine is the waves and you're standing on the shore waiting for your feminine. Well, you can't ride the wave from the shore. You have to get your ass in the water, paddle out, and then catch your perfect wave. So it's the energy of like you're being called to get in the water and go towards your feminine. You're being called to go out and get in the water. Um, so yeah, and then the feminines, hanging out, waiting, basically. But it's not in like a passive waiting thing. I feel like your feminine's still doing what they're being called to do and everything else. Um, but it's one of those like I feel like you both can tell it's so close. And so your feminine's just kind of like, I'm getting this energy and I freaking resonate with this, where it's like your feminine's getting the intuitive guidance and everything else, but then simultaneously being told like, not quite yet, though. Just hold the line, keep doing what you're doing, but don't actually take this next action step quite yet because something might be changing pretty drastically if the masculine does come in. Um, yeah, and then the Two of Wands, this can be talking about fantasizing and daydreaming, thinking about different paths in front of you and like, well, I really want to do this one, but maybe not. And again, I'm getting that crossroads energy, the fork in the road energy of like one is the path of alignment where your dreams come true, and the other is where you live life in the way that you have been living up until recently. And I feel like the masculine has been doing things in their life in order to get into alignment, and now you're at the precipice of being asked to take the biggest leap of your entire life, and it's scaring the shit out of you a little bit. But just understand that you wouldn't be being guided to take this massive leap just to be hurt again. Like that's not what's going on here. As unbelievable as it may seem or it may feel, because I'm hearing a masculine just being like, there's no way. There's no way this person actually feels for me what I feel for them, or would actually want to have this beautiful life with me at this point. And that is the illusion. Because the feminine in this energy desires this just as much as the masculine. Um, Yeah, it's yeah. 5 of Wands. This is conflict. We do have 555 right here. 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. You could be seeing 555. 555 is big changes, massive life changes, transformation energy, transformative phases in life is when 555 comes up a lot. So that could be an extra synchronicity for you. Um, I'm being told to read it. Oh, competition. So you could be worried about the competition for your feminine, but understand you are literally perfectly positioned. You have the perfect energy for your feminine, and your feminine knows that. And so your feminine, like, yeah, I'm getting the energy where your feminine just wants you. Um, and maybe there's a part of you that doesn't believe that. Maybe there's a part of you that's like, this, because I'm kind of hearing a masculine, like, this feminine could get anybody they wanted. Why would they want me? Well, go to your feminine and find out why. Hey, there's my challenge to you. Go ask your feminine why it's only you, because they will tell you. I feel like this feminine will tell you. Um, but again, it's one of those, like, you also are being asked to look at that worthiness wound. Like, why wouldn't your feminine want you? Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm mainly getting that conflict energy and competition. It's also talking about challenge. So yeah, I do feel like you're in a very challenging energy right now. But it's just one of those, like, allowing yourself to do this one thing is going to shift your energy in such drastic ways. And yeah, magician on the bottom of the deck. You're manifesting this, especially with the emperor right here. This is divine masculine energy. The divine masculine is literally manifesting this. And guess what? So is the feminine. Like, you and your person are both manifesting this with each other. Um, and I feel like there's a little bit of disbelief around it as well, but yeah, it's one of those, like, allow yourself to go find out for yourself. Like, don't listen to it from me, don't listen to it from other readers, go find out firsthand. Yeah. With the Knight of Cups here, this is a romantic offer. And I'm hearing it's safe to make a romantic offer to this person. And it's one of those things, like, once you communicate with this person, you're gonna know immediately. And maybe not necessarily like the first, so it just depends, you know. If I feel like you're gonna know really quickly though. Like, once you actually start communicating with this person, it's just gonna be so obvious for both of you that you're both on the same page. Nine of Pentacles. Fuck, dude. 4 of Wands, Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Nine of Pentacles is talking about self-made finances. So we Nine of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles. Um so yeah, nine of Pentacles can be like a business owner, an entrepreneur. It's got that kind of energy in it, but it can also just be like financially very secure and stable. Um so that's something else that's in your energy, is the ability to build something very prosperous and fortuitous. And I do feel like that you building, yeah, you building with this person puts you in the 10 of Pentacles, which is like, I mean, that's like top 1% level finances. If you know what I'm talking about. Um, 4 of Wands. This is the marriage card. This is union, reunion energy. Um, so this is what is in your energy field. So you do have this ability to have the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands with your person. This is happily ever after. This is building an empire together. This is having a happy, harmonious, beautiful union with each other. I mean, it's absolutely, it's just amazing energy. These cards come out in this energy all the time. And it's funny because I did readings for a long time and these 3 cards didn't really come out. And now these cards come out all the time. in this energy. So this is literally what you have on the table for you with this counterpart. Queen of Swords, you could feel like your feminine's a little bit guarded right now. Yeah. Yeah. Is that the feminine, like the counterpart energy? Okay, yeah. So you could feel like you're a little nervous to go towards this person because you feel like you're going to get met with the Queen of Swords energy, which is a little bit guarded. They it definitely has boundaries, um, so on and so forth. And the thing is, though, I feel like you're going to get this Queen of Cups energy when you actually reach out to them. Where'd the Queen of Cups go? It's under here somewhere. Um, but I do, yeah, no, the 7 cups. Okay. It's under here. But I do feel like you're gonna get more of this, like, nurturing, heart open energy with your person. Maybe at first, when you're kind of like when you first break no contact, and you go towards this person, maybe at first it's a little bit guarded. But I feel like it's, like, pretty quickly, especially if you are open and authentic with this person, they're gonna shift into the Queen of Cups energy very quickly and just be like, "Yes, I feel the same way for you." It's that they really do. In this energy, it's so mirrored. You and your person are both just like desiring each other and desiring a romantic union and life partnership with each other. It's really beautiful. It really, really is. And then Ace of Pentacles, this is a new beginning when it comes to the material world. So this could be like an aha moment that leads you into, well, no, it's not even an aha moment, Spirit just said. It's an actual like this is a physical blessing that is coming in for you. And I'm hearing it's as a result of communicating with this person. So there is definitely something like your finances are tied up in this as well. And it has to do with you shifting into alignment. And there's a part of you that intuitively knows that, whether you're consciously allowing yourself to tap into your intuition or not. If you pull into your body and listen to your intuition, it's going to tell you that. You intuitively know that this person does desire this with you, and this is on the table for you. Literally, it's on the table for you right here. Okay. Knight of Swords is talking about fast communication. So yeah, I feel like this is the energy of like it's safe to bring your communication to this person, and it's going to lead you to calmer waters. You're not going to feel so just it's not going to feel so chaotic. I'm getting a lot of internal chaos going on, and it's not going to feel so chaotic. Six of Wands, this can be talking about being in the public eye. So maybe one or both of you are. Maybe you're being called to be in the public eye. That could be part of soul purpose. This is also just saying you will be victorious in your endeavors. So you will be victorious when it comes to this communication. Um, you will be. You really will be. King of Cups. Got counterpart energy. Oh, again. Um, is that in reverse? No. Hey. So this is an emotionally mature energy. This is able to express your emotions to another person. And yeah, I feel like you and this person are very emotionally compatible. You both are emotionally safe for the other one at this point on the journey. I feel like maybe it wasn't that way in the past. Maybe it was for some of you. Um, I do feel like that's something though that like with just healing and the awakening process and so on and so forth, there's been a lot of healing and pulling into the heart space and having heart space activations and things like that and really realizing who it is that's in your heart. Now it's time to communicate that with that person. And then 3 of Swords, this is heartbreak, this is grief, it's painful energy. It really is. And so you could still be kind of in this heartbreak energy. And the thing is when you go towards this person, it's going to allow you to fully heal that heart space with another person. And maybe you and your person have never fully experienced that. And so maybe that's part of the gift of you two coming together is to be actually able to heal something with another person. Um, which is absolutely beautiful. Um, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come. The moon. This is something hidden coming to light. Hmm, and it's with the 3 of swords. So maybe for some of you, you've been on the awakening journey, you've been tapping in, you've been going within, you've been healing what, certain things that you were being called to heal and so on and so forth, and you've walked this path for a little bit now, and there was something illuminated when it comes to this pain and this heartbreak, and it could be I'm getting this, message of, like, when I looked into my heart, I found you, and that could have definitely happened for both of you. Maybe it was one of those, like, mm, okay, I'm being guided to share this. For me, on my journey, it was one of those, like, I I just carried this person with me. But I didn't fully realize it, but I would think about it more than anybody else. I would they were just like they were just always there in the background. And then when I did deep heart healing and stuff like that, all of a sudden it just came up to the surface. And there's more going on there because it's counterpart journey and so on and so forth, and we're made aware of different things at different times for different reasons. And so when spirit came in and like really brought it out and like shoved it in my face, I was like, holy shit. And then I was kind of mad, not gonna lie. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this now? Like, why? Why would you bring this into my fucking awareness? Like, I was so mad because I was like, I was fine with the way it was, and Spirit's like, but let's give you a little bit of insight on what's going on. And I was like, holy shit. Okay then. And so, maybe you went through a similar experience where it was like you started allowing yourself to dream again. You started to allow yourself to, especially after a spiritual awakening, you're blasted into this awareness of this whole other world and you're like, "Oh shit, this is so cool." And then it's like, "Now you need to heal your nervous system. Now you need to heal core childhood wounds and change dynamics and how you interact with other people." And you're like, "Dude, this fucking sucks." Um like that's the part of the spiritual awakening and the emotional awakening and all of that that it feels so good, and then all of a sudden it's like, golly, is fucking, oh, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It really, really is. Just know that, like, these painful things that we go through, it's worth it. It's for a reason. We're not just being put in painful situations just because. So just know that. But maybe there was a situation that happened where something came up into your awareness about this other person, and then you're like, fuck, dude, now what? Like, why would you make me aware of this? Well, it's because there's a huge potential for a life with this person. That's why you're being made aware of it. So now you're being called to do something about it and make an offer. Ace of Wands, this can be passionate energy, so you could be very passionate about this person, like very physically attracted or sensually attracted to this person. Again, by design, that makes sense. And then it's also there's a new beginning here when it comes to creativity and passion. And with that, you're going to see that a lot of this effort and energy that you've been putting into the spiritual awakening and healing and all of that is for a beautiful reason. It's literally to lead you to new beginnings and just a beautiful harmonious connection. And just a freaking life partner, like somebody to do life with you, to be in your corner, to have fun with, to play with, to enjoy, to build with. Like this is your person. So, okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here before I keep rambling. So, I hope this helps. Yeah, ultimately, like, you got this, make it happen because you've got a beautiful, amazing life waiting for you to align with it. So, align. All right. Well, if this helps, feel free to let me know in the comments below, or you can just claim this energy. And I would love to talk to you about it as well. If you like this message, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. I will see you on the next message. Bye.